What is going on, peoples? It is your boy NCSO7 here, and by the time that this video goes out, my channel would have turned 10 years old. Yes, 10 years old. It's honestly wild to think that I started this whole journey back in March of 2015. At the time, I was just in middle school, and now I'm like trying to get myself a career, like out of college with an associate's degree, still making these videos. And I've been keeping it pretty consistent ever since then, and you all have been a great help and have been a great support. So I figured today I was going to go through all the various years that I've been doing this YouTube channel and kind of just go through what I've been doing at the time and kind of how my channel's evolved over time, because obviously within 10 years a lot can change, and there's a lot. I'm not doing this scripted either. I'm doing this completely off the cuff, but I do have a handy dandy piece of paper with me so that way I don't forget various things. So you can almost treat this as kind of like a bit of a documentary about my channel and kind of what I've done. And it can also give you a good idea of what I used to do before I did some of the stuff that made me so popular today. So yeah, without further delay, let's get right into this, starting with 2015. So 2015, I started my YouTube channel. The reason I started the channel is because at the time I watched a lot of Let's Players like Zach Scott Games and Cobana Money 456, mostly them as an example. And I really wanted to do like Let's Play videos. And so in 2015, I finally started a YouTube channel under the name Ninja Craft Studios, with my first video being Super Smash Bros. For 3DS Part 1.
Hey, what's up guys, it's me doing a new video on a 3DS game called Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS. Yep, this is the first time I'm actually making a video, so what a good celebration.
And yes, the video quality was definitely not the best, and I definitely sounded like I was maybe not even at puberty yet. I wasn't even at that point yet, but this would be a very big change for me, because this was the first time I would finally start doing the gameplay videos, which is basically what I did for the majority of 2015. I mostly did gameplay videos. I would just take my camera, which was basically my parents' phone, and put it on like a makeshift tripod that wasn't even a tripod. I would just use like various things to hold the camera up so it could angle itself at the TV properly, though sometimes it didn't show properly. And would just record the videos. And yeah, a lot of these videos are not really that good. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of them are very, very not good. But to be fair, it isn't surprising that these videos haven't aged the best. I think in terms of the actual video quality itself, it actually looks quite good. But like in terms of my commentary and all that stuff and my overall skill, yes, I was not very good at it at all. But I did do some other things as well. I did reaction videos as well, which I didn't really do a whole lot, but that's kind of something that's kind of always been kind of interesting as well. And then at the very end of the year and kind of transitioning into 2016, I started to make plush videos. So at the time I watched a lot, and I mean a lot, of Super Mario Logan. And obviously, like a lot of people that watch that channel, I wanted to make my own plush videos. So that's what I did at the end of 2015 and started doing in 2016.
Yes, this is the first video I've ever made. So this is my room. We've got the Pac-Man right there, the mushrooms right here. We got Pooh, Jeff, Ness, Paula right there. We've got an octopus right here. Oh my god.
To which 2016, I would basically just do the gameplay videos as well as the plush videos and kind of split it down a little bit. And the plush videos were definitely a lot of fun to make, especially with my friends, but a lot of them have not aged very well, especially the ones that are just me doing it, which are, let's be honest, poo-poo and not very good. You could still find all of these videos and whatnot on my channel, but do be warned though, they are pretty boring and pretty shitty if I'm going to be honest, but at least with the ones that I did with my friends, they were a lot of fun to do. And it also was the year that I started doing unboxing videos as well, where I would unbox things. And I kept that pretty consistent throughout the years. But 2016 was definitely like when I was starting to do like try and like get a little bit better, especially later in the year. I tried to get better with the gameplay videos, with the quality of them, as well as my commentary. And it also helped that at the end of 2016, I finally actually got myself my own phone so I could actually record stuff. I didn't have to rely on my parents' phone. So that was really, really nice because it meant I could basically record whenever I wanted to. So that was really, really good. And then as for 2017, going into that year, not really a lot changed. It was basically the same thing as before. Plush videos one half, gameplay videos on the other half, and some other stuff on the side. I did try my hand at making some second channels, but a lot of these second channels just never made it anywhere. Like, one of them I made was basically like a prank channel, because I remember at the time I saw like a prank channel with, I don't remember what his name was, but he had like a white mask or something like that, and I wanted to do stuff like that, and it really didn't go anywhere at all. And I also tried to do like a second channel for my main channel, but I ultimately deleted that channel and whatnot. So yeah, that was basically 2017. Not a very interesting year in all honesty. I didn't really grow much at all, but 2018 was a very different story, because this was the year that I really started to try and do brand new things. The first thing were my Gmod videos, or the Gmod animations, as I called them at the time, even though they really weren't animations and were basically just videos I made in Gmod of various things. And obviously I didn't even know of like game capture at the time, so all these videos were recorded once again with my phone camera, like pointed at the computer screen, which is why a lot of these videos do not look very good. They do not look good, but this would be kind of the start when it came to making animation style videos, which we'll get more into later. But I started doing these, and I also started another series called Rage with NCSO7, which was basically like, if you guys know Nathaniel Bandy, he's like a Nintendo YouTuber. Back in the day, he used to do a series called How Will Nathaniel Rage, where he would basically play a game and get really mad, and then he would do things throughout that video and whatnot. And I wanted to do stuff like that too, because I liked the idea of like rage videos, because I thought they were funny. And Rage with NCSO7 was kind of something I kept going for a pretty long while, but once I eventually moved into this apartment and I wasn't at the old house anymore, I basically had to completely cease it, even though I could technically bring it back if I really wanted to, but I don't really have the need to. But yeah, Rage with NCSO7 is another series that was really fun. Some of those episodes were really good. Like the Getting Over It one is definitely one that I think a lot of people really liked. And those videos were a lot of fun. And I also started to really start doing the review videos as well. And these were off the cuff, just like this, where I didn't have a script, but I would basically like review a game and whatnot. Like, I think, for example, the first one was Super Mario Odyssey. Basically, I would just review the game based on like stuff like the gameplay, the visuals, the story, the music, stuff like that. And obviously the sort of like way I make my reviews would carry over like later on. But I started to really work on making review videos and really making them like really good. Especially later in the year when I finally started to actually like get footage online and actually record audio separately. So that way, because at first I would just record the audio while I was playing the games, which is not really a good idea because it can lead to a lot of issues. But it was something I started doing. And I also started a second channel, which is the same second channel that I have now. And at the time, I started the second channel with trying to do storytime videos, because this was at kind of that age where storytime channels were starting to become a thing, like especially like animated YouTube storytime channels. And I kind of tried to start doing some of that as well, but thing is, my life is not nearly as interesting as you may think. I don't have that many crazy experiences, and so NCSO7 Storytime just didn't really pan out, but I did keep the channel around, and I have used it over time for various things. Like last year, I used it for my collection videos, and so on and so forth, and yeah. But by far the biggest thing that changed in 2018 was my DDLC mods. And it's honestly really funny because the whole reason that I even like got into DDLC modding and even DDLC in general was rewatching Scott the Wads' viral games video. I don't know what it was, but it was just a random butterfly effect. I remember rewatching this video in October of like 2018, and I saw the video beforehand, but there was this one time I watched the video and he was talking about Doki Doki Literature Club, and I don't know why, but at this moment in time, I was really interested. I was like, huh, that's really weird. So I checked it out, and then, like, I don't think I actually played the game myself. I watched Jacksepticeye play the game, and I basically, at that point, got really into the game and whatnot. And eventually, I saw, like, people that were modding the game, and I wanted to do that as well. And so, eventually, in November of 2018, I would finally start my DDLC mods. Of course, though, with a caveat, my old DDLC mods still, once again, had me doing the phone camera to the computer screen, which is why a lot of the older mods I made did not look very well. Thankfully, not many mods came out like this. Eventually, I figured out the game capture, but 2018 was the year that I started making my DDLC mods, which would become one of the biggest video types that I would make, and basically would become what I was known for. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let's get into 2019, which is when I finally started SFM animations, or Source Filmmaker animations. So, compared to the Gmod videos that I was making, Source Filmmaker was definitely a big step in terms of quality, in terms of making my stuff look better. But SFM is also a much more actual animation. It's real animation, and it's a lot more. You gotta learn keyframing and all that stuff, and even the animations that I've done in SFM are not the best quality. You can obviously tell, but there is a video I made later in 2019. I think it was called like One Job Left or something like that, which was like a Splatoon SFM animation, which was what I was doing a lot at the time with Splatoon, like Gmod and SFM stuff, because I wanted to be one of those people but I just stopped caring about that. But I did make one animation, One Job Left, that I'm actually not too unproud of. It actually isn't too bad, but like, it's definitely, like, obviously on YouTube, there's a lot of really good SFM stuff from really talented animators that are much better than I ever could be, and I've wanted to continue doing animation videos, but eventually I kind of stopped doing them because I just didn't really... It's a lot of time and commitment to make those things, and respect to anybody who can do those and does those on a regular basis. But it was something where I didn't really know if I would really ever want to continue it. So I didn't do that many of them, but it was still something I started doing in 2019. But obviously, one of the big things that really blew up in 2019 was my mods. Because while I started in 2018, 2019 was when my mods really started to get on the table. Especially with the very first When Elevators Go Wrong video. And then later in the year, When Elevators Go Wrong 2 came out, which... honestly, when I was making the When Elevators Go Wrong 2 mod, I expected the video to only do half as well as the original. It ended up getting like I think it's at this point close to 500,000 views. I don't think it's there yet, but when it does get there, I will make a pinned comment thanking people. But When Elevators Go Wrong 2 blew up more than I could ever think, and that was basically the video that basically got people to find my channel and find my mods, which was really crazy. And that was actually the year I finally hit 1,000 subscribers, which was crazy. And then I was actually able to start monetizing my videos. And I remember the first time I got a YouTube check, I didn't even have like a checking account or anything like that. This is on my parents' checking account. But I remember the first time I got that check, I remember I bought Pokemon. I think it was Pokemon Shield. I spent like part of that $110, I think it was, on Pokemon Shield. I still remember it to this day. Like, really, really good times. I don't really make money much anymore though, but that's completely fine because I don't really do YouTube as a job anymore. Even at the time, like, I only really made like $100 like a month, so it wasn't anything crazy, but it was really, really cool, especially when it was at a time when your boy didn't have a job. I didn't have a job at the time. I was still in like high school. So like having that extra source of income was very nice, especially for something that I really liked doing. And I also started doing more streaming as well in 2019. I did it in 2018 as well, but 2019 was when I especially was starting to do it a lot more, especially once I got a PS4, which made streaming much easier because the PS4, you can just stream through that system. I remember streaming a lot of GTA 5 with the boys, Super Dude 3 and Mad Dog Beast 18. Lots of fun times there, and I think some other games as well. But moving on into 2020 was when I started doing some different kind of content. Obviously this is the year where a lot of things were happening, but one type of video style that I was trying to do that really did not pan out very well in my opinion was my tips/problems videos. So at the time I was watching a lot of people like Diesel Patches and Optimus, which are like commentary channels, and I thought like maybe I could do that and basically talk shit about people for views. It didn't really work out at all. I mean, not to say every single tip/problems video was a complete dud, but there were some videos where I was very naive and very stupid. I came off as way too overly harsh. I didn't know how to articulate my feelings in a professional manner, and the videos just kind of sucked in general. I eventually realized that this is not the kind of content I wanted to make. So to the people who I made like the tip/problems videos on, if you did get offended by those videos, I do apologize about that. I was naive and stupid back then. I didn't really know much better, but thankfully I did catch on to this pretty well. And to be fair, doing those tip/problems videos did help me figure out what kind of content I did want to do, and it did teach me that I can't just put anything online. You got to be careful what you put online. Very much so. So that was one big thing that I was doing, but until ultimately stopped later in the year. But I also started doing tier list videos as well, where I would do tier lists on stuff. I mean, pretty self-explanatory stuff, because this is when they were starting to finally become more popular on YouTube. So I kind of threw my hat in the ring at that, and that was pretty much it for 2020. I kept doing the mods and whatnot, and the reviews and whatnot. And then moving into 2021, things pretty much stayed the same with like the mods and the review videos and all that jazz, but with one new addition, and possibly my favorite type of video style I've done, the Iceberg videos. And obviously Iceberg videos were becoming a big thing in 2020 and 2021, and I wanted to start doing them, and I will definitely say the Iceberg videos that I've made are some of my favorite videos I've ever made. I would say, like, especially, like, I know I'm jumping up ahead very much, but the Lost Media Iceberg I did back in 2024 might honestly be one of the best videos I've ever made. I think it was one of the most fun videos to make. And even though Iceberg videos do take a lot of time, making those videos were lots of fun. And usually I think they turn out much better than my other content, because it's really hard to fuck up an Iceberg video. Like, even if the Iceberg video itself doesn't have like that much editing, they're a lot of fun to make, and I think it can bring a lot of unique knowledge to the table. And if you're new to the channel seeing this video, I recommend checking out the Iceberg videos, because those are some of my best videos, as well as my DDLC mods. But yeah, the Iceberg videos I finally started doing in 2021. And so moving into 2022 was a pretty big change, because back before 2022, I actually lived in a completely different house, but eventually we moved, and I'm living here now, which changed not a whole lot, at least in terms of like the modding and like and all that sort of stuff. It didn't really change a whole lot, but it was still a big change in my personal life at the very least, because it was a big change. But I would say it was for the best, because it got me closer to stores to buy video games. That was pretty nice. And I also got like a new job and stuff like that, which I actually forgot to mention. I got a job in 2021, but then I eventually changed jobs in 2022 to my current job that I actually like quite a lot right now. But as for 2022, in terms of the videos I was making, Puyo Puyo unboxings were a new thing I was trying to do throughout the whole year, doing unboxing on my Puyo Puyo games, because I bought a lot of Puyo Puyo games because I really love the series. I want to get another game sometime soon, but I don't know when the next game's coming out that isn't a stupid mobile game that's stuck to a subscription service. I'm sorry. I'm still hung up over that. But those were fun to do. And I also started in 2022 the pickups videos, so that way, like, I would show myself showing the games that I would get throughout the month. But I did eventually slim this down a lot, so that way it was every 2 months. And then starting this year, I'm actually going to be doing it every 3 months, so they're not too common. But these are a lot of fun, because it helps me kind of document my collection and stuff like that. And I also have made collection videos as well, which I did back in the days, but I forgot to mention that, so sorry. But 2022 was a pretty solid year, but moving into 2023 was when I started to make a very big change. I quit doing DDLC mods. After doing mods for 4 whole years, I stopped making mods. And the reason for this was because I genuinely didn't have any good ideas left. I wanted to change and work more on my video essays and my other content, which was basically the reason I stopped doing my mods, which brings me to the stuff I was doing in 2023. The video essays and Forgotten Corner series. And the video essays were basically the same as my review videos. However, I put a lot more time into those. I actually wrote scripts for those, and I also like put a lot more into the editing in terms of putting actual pictures on screen. And Forgotten Corner was basically the same thing, but instead basically for games that I feel are kind of obscure or not really talked about that much. And that was pretty much what I did for most of 2023. And then moving into 2024, it was basically the same thing. But the new thing I did was Twitch streaming. So I've tried streaming on Twitch before, but it never really panned out. But in mid 2024, I tried to really take Twitch streaming a lot more seriously. I tried to change my mindset when it came to streaming, and it actually has been quite fun. And I also started a VOD channel, so if you guys do want to see more content that is like me playing games and stuff like that, I would heavily recommend checking the VOD channel out or the Twitch. I'll leave hopefully links in the description to both of those. And this was kind of something that kind of was an evolution of that of my old gameplay videos, except in a much longer format. So it's really cool that that happened. And then that brings us to today in 2025, where I finally brought my mods back. I finally have a good list of mods I want to do, and I also have some really good Iceberg videos I have planned for the year, which are going to be a lot of fun. And it's quite fun. It's been a long journey, to say the least, but it has been a lot of fun throughout the entire journey, and I want to give a big thank you to everyone that supported me throughout the years. Whether you just started watching my videos now, or if you started watching them when I was making my mods, or if you've been someone who's been around since like the earliest days of me doing my videos. Thank you for your support. I don't say it enough, and I'm going to really say it here. Thank you to all of you. You all have basically kept this channel alive, because I'm going to be honest, especially with like the people who are watching my mods now. I do want to get into this. Like, the people who have been watching my mods that I've been making much more recently in 2025, thank you for watching those. I'm not gonna lie, I'll keep it completely real with you all. I was originally gonna retire from YouTube this year. I actually was considering like making this video as one of my last videos and kind of stepping down from YouTube. But people wanted to watch my DDLC mods. I decided to bring them back to kind of keep the channel alive a little bit longer, and you guys have been supporting the hell out of them. I mean, I know like 1,000 views on a video isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but it means a lot to me. It means that people are watching my stuff, and it means that it is worth making this sort of stuff. So thank you all for watching these videos and whatnot. And if you're new here, I heavily recommend checking my stuff out. It's not the best stuff ever, but I love making this stuff though. Consider checking my Iceberg videos out, or in my DDLC mods, because that's basically going to be the most of my content for this year, as well as the occasional pickups video and whatnot, and review videos. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting me for a good 10 years. We'll see how much longer I can keep this going. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Thank you for the support over the years. Thank you for getting my channel to where it is today. Maybe sometime we can hit 10,000 subscribers. I think that'd be really fun, but I'm not really holding my breath over that. But anyways, thank you all for watching and supporting the channel and all that jazz. I've said it like 1,000 times. You all have yourselves a good day, and I will see you guys in the future. Peace out and take care, everybody.